this notion though that you can just sort of send checks out to everybody and things will be fine is not true, obviously. There's some people have this absurd view that the economy is like some magic horn of plenty, like it just makes stuff, whatever. It just there's a magic horn of plenty, and the goods and services they just come from this magic horn of plenty, and then if somebody has more stuff than somebody else, it's because they took more from this magic horn of plenty. Now let me just break it to you, the fools out there. If you don't make stuff, there's no stuff. Yeah. So if you don't make the food, if you don't process the food, you don't transport the food, and whether medical treatment, getting your teeth fixed, there's no stuff. I would become detached from reality. You can't just legislate money and solve these things. If you don't make stuff, there is no stuff. Obviously. We'll run out of the stores. We'll run out of the machine just grinds to a halt.
But the initial thought on this virus, the real fear was that this was going to kill hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people instantaneously in this country. It was going to do it very quickly if we didn't hunker down, if we didn't shelter in place, if we didn't quarantine ourselves or lock down. Do you think that the initial thought was a good idea based on the perception that this was going to be far more deadly than it turned out to be?
Maybe, I think briefly. But I think if any kind of sensible examination of what happened in China would lead to the conclusion that is obviously not going to occur. This virus originated in Wuhan. There's 100,000 people a day leaving Wuhan. So it went everywhere, very fast, throughout China, throughout the rest of the world, and the fatality rate was low.
Don't you think, though, it's difficult to appreciate? It's difficult to filter what the information that's coming out of China to accurately really get a real, true representation of what happened. The propaganda machine is very strong.
Sure.
The World Health Organization appears to have been complicit with a lot of their propaganda.
The thing is that American companies have massive supply chains in China, like Tesla, for example. We have hundreds of suppliers, like tier 1, 2, 3, 4 suppliers throughout China. So we know if they are able to make stuff or not. We know if they have issues or not. Then China is back at full steam. Pretty much every U.S. company has some significant number of suppliers in China. So you know if they're able to provide things or not, or if there's high mortality rate. Tesla has 7,000 people in China, so 0 people died. 0.
Okay, so that's a real statistic. That's coming from those people.
Yeah, we run payroll.
Do you think there's a danger of this? Same folks are there.
Yeah, still there.
Do you think there's a danger of politicizing this, where it becomes like opening up the country as Donald Trump's? It's his goal. It's his, and then anything he does is sort of there's people that are going to oppose it and come up with some reasons why he's wrong, particularly in this climate. Whereas as we're leading up to November, and the 2020 elections. Do you think that this is a real danger in terms of public's perception, that Trump wants to open it up so they knee-jerk